Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Baseball and Coffee, 10 a.m. They're Tuesday, July 22nd. I got my coffee today in my ski mug, which very much looking forward to getting back out there on the slopes this winter. I got the Pergamino brand coffee, which is from Medellin, Colombia, recommended by my teammate last year, Alex Young. This is the third different type of beans that we're trying. These ones are a little more floral in taste and notes. So if anybody who is out there would like to drop a coffee that maybe I should oh, that's not it. Hold on. If anybody would drop a coffee that maybe I should try, I think that would be really fun. Hold on one second. Got to refresh the stream so I can get the chat up. Anyway, it was a good night of baseball last night. A lot going on. So I'm excited to get into it today. Just trying to get the chat going here. Let's see if it's up or not. Yeah, it looks like it might be up. Anyway. All right, let's get into it today a little bit here. Man, I'm in the wrong stream, I think. Let's see if I look on my computer as if I'm trying to watch what this looks like. Oh, yeah. We're live. We are live. All right, beautiful. Welcome into Baseball and Coffee. Once again, sorry about that technical difficulty there for a second. Streaming can sometimes be a little fickle. Some people might know out there, but we're going to jump right over to the main screen. And we're going to hop right into our standings. A lot of movers and shakers last night. Blue Jays took down the Yankees again. They've won 5 in a row in Toronto versus the Yanks. Have now a 3-game lead on them, 5 on the Sox. You know, this needs to be refreshed. This ain't right. I think it's a 4-game lead now. Yeah, 4-game lead because the Yankees lost, 6 on the Sox. Yankees and the Sox both lose. Tampa loses their 7.5 back. Toronto 4. Can they pull away? I don't know. Let's see. Detroit 10 up. Not worried about them. They're crushing. Houston 5 up on Seattle. Lost last night to the Brewers. Phillies and the Mets both win. That remains a half game. That's going to be great. Brewers and the Cubs. Now the Brewers are back on top. Thought they had now they've won their 11th in the row. They chased down the Cubs, who have been playing good baseball, but the Brewers have won 11 in a row. So we're going to definitely get into the Brewers today a little bit. Have some things we want to check in on that. Dodgers 3.5 up. Padres starting to get close again. Dodgers finally pulling out a nice win last night, but ooh, that's pretty good actually. San Diego's right there. So I think what we want to do today is the first guy we're going to go look at is Paul Skenes. Skenes obviously pitched last night. This is the other guy right now, along with Scooble, who we looked at yesterday, who's really separating himself at the moment in just a few specific ways. For one thing, he's only made 44 career starts. So 44 career starts, and now he has a 1.94 career ERA. I feel like it was just yesterday I was watching him pitch in the College World Series in that famous game versus Rhett Lauder. And I watch Skenes throw every week, and I have to say he's one of the most fascinating young pitchers I've ever seen because the growth is like best case scenario. Like to add the pitches that he's added to continue to grow the field that he already had at that point is not normal. It's not normal, and I think a lot of people thought he was just like another fireballer when he first got drafted, and velocity was his calling card. And we'll get into the how and what of what he's doing right now. But man, Paul Skenes has been great to watch, and I really wish he wasn't on the Pirates because I'd love to see this guy in a playoff situation. But already 5.3 WAR this season. It's 5-8, which is just sad, but 1.91 ERA, 0.913 WHIP. The Savant page is all red. He's literally above average in every single category. By Savant's metrics, they have him as the best pitcher in the game, 100th percentile in pitching run value. But I guess the first thing that really jumps out to me is that this guy's a pitcher. Like, he's a true pitcher, throws the kitchen sink at you. Look at his movement profile over here on the right side of the screen and his percentages. I mean, he's throwing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different pitches. It's a four seam, it's a sinker, it's a splitter, it's a changeup, it's a slider, it's a curveball. There's a lot going on here. He's got this magic pitch here, the splinker in the turquoise color that gets the negative vert on the arm side, which is crazy at the velocity, 93.6. I had a hitter who faced him quite a few times last year in the same division tell me that he didn't think that the four seam fastball was plus on its own. He thought it was more the velo that made it play up, and I think that makes sense when you look at the shape of the pitch. But he said that splinker, that splitter, that was like triple plus. One of the best pitches he's ever seen. Impossible to differentiate from the four seam until it's too late as it starts to drop off the table. And one thing that I really noticed when I watch him pitch is he'll get his strikeouts different way almost every game. Like, there's some games he'll be featuring the changeup as the put away pitch. There's some games it's the fastball up. There's some games it's the splinker. There's some games it's the sinker. There's some days it's the sweeper. He'll even mix in the curveball at times. I mean, he gets them really every which way. And actually, I think that's illustrated over here. I saw on the side page today of this landing page, as you can see here, this is his strikeouts 2025 plot. A lot of red for the four-seamers. Obviously, it's 90% of those are up in the zone. He's had some high sweeper strikeouts, but look at the bottom, the curveball, the changeup, the split. Those pitches all below the zone. So he's getting them in, out, up, and down, and with all different pitches. And I think that's what makes him so tough. I was looking at his data from the game last night. Here we go. So this is the player breakdown section of the game last night, and we go to Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes last night, 55% four-seam fastball, 13% changeup, 10% sweeper, 9% splitter, 7% slider, 3% sinker, 2% curveball. So he literally threw the kitchen sink. Are any of his pitches below average on run value? Well, we can find that out in about 1 second. So we head down to the run value section. Yes, actually, the curveball is -2 run value, but you take that with a grain of salt. He's only thrown 4.4% of those, total of 88 curveballs this year, but that's been worth -2. The split, believe it or not, which I think is his nastiest pitch in a way by movement, has been neutral, basically neutral pitch on terms of value. But I think it serves a lot of purpose setting up other pitches and stuff. And when we watch him pitch in this game from last night, we'll probably be able to see some of that. But yeah. Paul Skenes, I don't want to lose my train of thought on him, but you see it. It's actually a kitchen sink attack a lot more than it is just a throw hard attack. And it's pretty crazy to be this good, this fast, and this easily. So I think we should just go ahead and watch him pitch a little bit last night. It was the Tigers and the Pirates. As we'll load up Mr. Skenes right here. And we'll start digging in. Now, he has been on a little bit of a pitch count. They haven't been letting him go as deep. I think that makes sense. He's just like, if you really let this guy pitch, you would throw like easy over 200 innings. And now I'm starting to think they have to worry a little bit because they know they're not really in contention. What are you going to do with Skenes? You're going to trade him, going to keep him? Either way, you got to keep him healthy, right? So, I don't know. That becomes a little bit a part of the conversation here, although I despise pitch counts. All right, Paul Skenes, here we go. We're just going to go straight to the results, and we're going to see how he's getting these outs in this game. First batter, Colt Keith. Gets him the little rollover on the changeup. And if you're going to notice, he does an excellent job of controlling his contact. It's not just strikeouts. Like, he's able to get quick outs, and he knows where to get them with each batter. He knows where to go. Little sweeper away. Glaber off the end of the bat. Little pop-up, nice play by Gonzalez there at second. He's going to get his first punch of the day on Riley Green. Riley Green, all-star. Looked at him a week ago. He's got the steepest swing in the game. You can see that those shoulders. And it hasn't hurt him being an awesome player this year, but 99.3 from a low slot up at the top, up and away is the perfect pitch location-wise for the swing through. And if you notice real quick when we look at Skenes' metrics, this is what we're talking about. The vertical break, 13.6 pedestrian. The horizontal break, 13.3 pedestrian. That would be considered a dead zone fastball. But as you're going to see, he dominates anyway with it in this game. And it's a mix of velocity and location and also just sequencing. So there's a lot of ways to bake the cake. And Paul Skenes is doing it like, I don't know, like a professional in a 5-star restaurant. Here we go. Four seam up. Another nice play by Gonzalez. Wow. Let's check the high home on that. That's a fun little play. Here he is. He's got to go a long way. Nice play. Nice play. Where's the right fielder though, man? Don't you want that ball? All right, McKinstry. So far, he's gotten outs with changeups, fastballs. Here's the first one on the splitter. This thing just drops off the table. Now this to me is an elite pitch. All right, I mean it's coming in at 93.9. It's coming in at 93.9, and it's got negative 1.4 break. I don't know if there's too many other pitches at this velocity with that type of drop that exist anywhere. So even though this is actually a pitch without crazy run value, this is a nasty pitch. And McKinstry actually tries to like not swing at this, but it's kind of too late, and he ends up just kind of wasting his at bat, which I'm sure is probably even more frustrating than striking out. All right, so there's a quick 2 outs. Now Dylan Dingler, who's an awesome guy behind the plate. Skenes, a little fastball down and away. Roll over to IKF. And a nice quick inning there. Here's the first hit, Parker Meadows. There's that curveball. Curveball shows up a little bit. You know, if I recall correctly, I actually think Skenes got clipped for like a 2 or 3 run homer on a curveball recently, and that might have contributed to the run value being so low. But you can see here, this isn't a great pitch. It's kind of medium speed through the middle of the zone. Most hitters in the league love this type of speed and location combo. All right, so he's got a leadoff man on. Let's see how he goes to work of stranding him.
Tapped to third, but right at the bag. Called safe.
Wow.
CB Bucknor.
So really good, induces the weak contact. Key Brian Hayes, one of the best in the game at third, but this is a tricky play. Matt Vierling ends up beating it out, and now he's got first and second, nobody out. But the runner doesn't move up, so let's see how he goes here. Trey Sweeney.
Look, the runner back to
first pitch, backdoor sweeper.
Busted bat.
Actually, not a great pitch, but has enough velo on the sweeper to sort of jam him there just a touch, and he gets the easy out. Cole Keith, so second time through, looking for that double play ball. That's what the splitter is going to get you. That shape's going to yield a lot of grounders. Yeah. First pitch curveball, I agree, Mitch. It's mostly a setup pitch. It's not the pitch you want them to put in play. Anyway, he gets the splitter here. They try to get the double play. They don't quite get it. CB Buckner down here giving him emphatic safe calls. Let's watch this dude. Okay. We have replay if you're wrong.
Another close play.
Which I guess he was right. He's been right on both of these. They're both pretty close. All right, and then he's going to go for Glaber to get the finish here. Ooh, 4-seam. Good location, top of the zone. Really good pitch. Riley Green got him with the fastball last time. Oh, looks like he's going to go to it again. Same spot. Riley Green can't get there with that swing. Torkelson
he came up here with big
popped him up the first time.
Real hard, but as a pitcher,
really nice swing by Torkelson. This is a good pitch. This is a good location. 1-2 count. Up in location. This is an excellent pitch.
But as a pitcher,
Torkelson, really good swing there.
Close to that.
Torkelson with the 1-out.
So there's a knock. Yeah, he did. Okay. Torkelson base hit, McKinstry.
So, and he's
He didn't had the emergency hack ground out this first time. Changeup gets him out front. Now it's interesting that the changeup goes changeup and a split. And the split is like 93 and the changeup is like 88. So I think when he wants to use, obviously when he wants to use speed differential, he uses this changeup, but it doesn't have nearly as much drop on it. So it's kind of a weird combo to have both. But Paul's found a way to kind of have even more pitches that can come out of the same tunnel. You know, yesterday we talked a little bit about skenes. About Skubal, and how Skubal's whole game is like kind of like a clustered approach, where there's like, you know, the four seam and the sinker at the top, and then the changeup that kind of comes off of that, and it's just like movement wise, there's not a huge amount of variety. There are more of a subtle movement changes. Skenes has both, because Skenes has sweepers that break way left. He's got sweepers that break way left and curveballs that break way left. But then everything on the arm side is kind of jumbled. Like the four seam would be here, the sinker would be here, the splitter would be further down, but the changeup would be right in there. So really, like all of the that tunnel is like pretty tight. That cluster of pitches is pretty tight. So he's playing kind of like the subtle difference game with his arm side pitches, and he also has the big difference game when he needs it to his glove side pitches. So he's doing actually a little bit of both. Like I think Driveline calls, when they look at arsenals, they call it either like a mix arsenal or a match arsenal. A mix being like how different and multitudes of variety that you have with your arsenal, whereas match would be more like how well do two pitches work together, look the same, and then deviate. And Skenes has both of those approaches, which is super impressive. So anyway, he gets the pop up there. Dylan Dingler hit by pitch. Let's see where the poor guy gets nailed.
that wasn't the first one. Oh!
Yeah, that hurt. All right, so a little arm side flyer, and he's in a little bit of trouble in this inning. That means he's got to bear down. And another fastball up. So he's gotten some nice strikeouts on four seams up in this game, and you can see how it's really a location thing. Your ball can play up there even with a suboptimal vert metric. It's just a matter of locating it and then throwing it at the right moment. And Skenes is incredible at throwing things at the right moment. All right, Veerling. This is clearly the type of start where he's getting a lot of results out of his four-seam fastball. And like I said, it's something different for him every game, which is one of the most impressive things about Paul. Trey Sweeney called out on strikes.
Not just velocity.
With a fastball.
Command and the pitch sequencing.
I think that's a good take. I don't think he's hitting that anyway, but it's also a really nice catch by the catcher, who I think might be Henry Davis. But a really nice catch. And a good call by the umpire. That is at the top. Nice pitch. And then he's going to end up with his first walk of the game, Colt Keith.
Not walked a man tonight. Wayward pitch.
All right, little two-out walk. It happens to the best, I guess. And then Gleyber Torres. Third time facing Gleyber. Let's see how he gets him. Ooh, front door sweeper. I wonder how he set that up. This is one of his last batters. We should probably watch this whole at bat.
Super happy to be back
all right, Gleyber.
And of course, happy and excited to be
first
here
pitch, gyro slider ball, or I guess that's the sweeper. First pitch sweeper ball.
Remember, because he had Tommy John surgery
right after
strike.
City. He did get him to pop up on one early, so clearly the slider is the play to Torres, particularly away. Gets ahead. Oh, now he's going to go to the right on right changeup.
By the end of the year, he'll be back.
Yeah, just a little bit of a pull side in the ground.
If there is, it may open up a spot for Oviedo.
Fastball up.
To unfurl his 75th pitch of the night.
Try for the fastball freeze, I guess. So he's worked him away a bit, and then he kind of circles back to the front door breaking ball. So he kind of led Gleyber away, and then buckles him in. It's a good pitch choice. I also think it's also like 3-2. Not sure what I want to throw. At the end of the day, I think this is the best pitch to this guy if he were to put the ball in play. So we're just going to go to it. And it worked out. All right, sixth inning. Riley Green punched him the first two times. Sure he's going to stick with that fastball. Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's just good pitching. Nick Gonzalez's third nice play of this game for Skenes, running back, catching pop-ups. Killer mustache, too. Torkelson again. Another fastball. This one's well struck. This is a poorly located ball, but sometimes you get a good result anyway. Kind of a knuckleball, I think. And then McKinstry is his last batter.
McKinstry to cruise in center. Deep but playable.
He's got it.
Man.
And a 1-2-3 sixth for
So you could actually, it does look like he kind of tired with his location a little bit the last two batters. Two balls kind of right down the middle there. And you can see he's shaking his head as he walks off. And that's the sign of a pitcher who's being honest in his self-evaluation.
He's got it.
It's a pitcher you need to know whether you did a good job or not, regardless of the results. And I think Skenes, obviously, is holding himself to a much higher standard. Anybody in the chat think that this guy's not going to win the Cy Young Award this year? Could it be Wheeler? Let's see. Let's go see where Fangraphs has these pitchers right now. Pitching 2025. All right, so by Fangraphs, National League, it looks like it's Skenes, then Wheeler, then Webb, Sanchez, Framber. I'm using your ski mug, my love. I think Wheeler could get him, maybe. It's got more strikeouts per 9, less walks, more wins. It's awfully close. They're awfully close, but Skenes is just man, to have a sub-2 ERA through like 200 and something innings career is wild. 280 innings. I think I actually have that number. Yeah, he's now 260 innings with a 1.94 for his career. Couldn't be more impressed. Not many guys can come in and be this good right away. All right, so that's it for Skenes. Unless anybody has anything for him, we can always look back. But now I want to look at this guy, Nick Kurtz, because Nick Kurtz has been the best hitter. Okay, hold on. If this was 2015, he'd have no shot with low win total. Wheeler has advantage of just being on a better team. Yeah, he does. I do feel like it will be pretty close, though, and nobody's ever won an award with a losing record, so Skenes going to have to get some W's. I don't know. I know none of that stuff matters. It's one of those things where, I don't know, it just looks weird to have a guy, like with a losing record on a bad team to win the Cy Young if there's another candidate that's like right there with him, but I don't know. He's been incredible. Okay, so Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz, who's a rookie for the A's, Sacramento A's now, out of Wake Forest, was drafted, I believe, last year. Him and Chase Burns both there out of Wake Forest. He's been the best hitter in the big leagues since May 20th. And there's a lot to like when you look at this guy. He's not qualified in everything yet, but he's been hitting the absolute crap out of the ball, and it's super impressive to be up to a 949 OPS as a rookie, as a 22-year-old rookie. 6'5", 240, lefty, traditional slugger type. When we watch him hit, I might throw out some very bold comps for this guy. Stuff that has popped out to me, especially the usage of the whole field for homers. You see these purple or pinkish home run balls. They're literally pole to pole. They're everywhere in the outfield. His hits are everywhere. This is the sign of a really mature hitter. A guy who's not trying to overdo it at the plate, but doesn't have to because he's supremely talented. And I looked a little bit at his bat tracking. He's not qualified yet, but he has the 8th highest bat speed in the big leagues with a minimum of 50 swings. It's crazy. The only names ahead of him are Stanton, O'Neal Cruz, Junior Caminero, Riley Adams, Nowinski, Johanski Noel, Jordan Walker, Joe Adell. And then right behind him is like Judge, Caglione, Vlad, Jordan, like some of the absolute craziest power hitters. And then when I was staring at some of these stats last night, I started looking at things like swing length. And swing length is very highly correlated with your bat speed. Like if you have a longer swing, so these are the longest swings in the game. Giancarlo Stanton, 8.8 feet in his swing, and he's got the highest bat speed. But if you look, all the guys in the left-hand column, for the most part, that have long swings have good bat speed. And then the ones that have the short swings, like Luis Arise, Jacob Wilson, Alex Verdugo, Chandler Simpson, Stephen Kwan, like these all make sense because these are the contact hitters. They have a lot less length in their swing. They can get from their launch point to the ball quicker and in a shorter path. This is going to lend itself to making a lot of contact. It's going to make you really good at squaring up the ball. Luis Arise is the best in the game at that. So all the guys that have that, though, they tend to have low bat speed. And it was actually interesting as I looked for like the first guy with like very above average bat speed, but also a short swing. And it's funny, but Kyle Stowers jumped off the page here with 75.1 mile an hour average bat speed and only a 6.8 foot length, swing length. So I thought that was interesting. But how it relates to our guy Kurtz has got like an average swing length, but top of the scale bat speed. So right there, that's a pretty good combo, just from a swing, power, and like quickness perspective. And then I was looking also at his swing path metrics. He does have a little bit of tilt to his swing, but his attack direction is only 1 degree pull, so he's basically neutral, meaning he's not cheating to pull the ball too much, and he's not cutting himself off to only go oppo. He's right up the middle, which is the big part of the field. That's the good approach. Attack angle is pretty close to average, but slightly elevated, which is what I think you want when you have this much pop. So anyway, Nick Kurtz, best hitter in the game, best hitter in the game since May 20th. And if you look at his game logs, it tells the tale of this season. He gets called up. He has a 490 OPS in April. Then you go to May. He immediately turns it around for an 851 OPS in May. And then in June, he goes even a step above that with a 926 OPS. And then this month, he's completely going bananas with a 1318 OPS. His last couple games, we can see he went 2 hits, 3 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, 1 hit, 2 hits, 1 hit. He's got an extra base streak going on right now. So anyway, I want to watch him hit. He faced Jack Leiter last night. And I'm just super impressed. I'm very anxious to watch this guy continue to develop. He's not providing much defensive value or anything else, but if you can hit like this, they might have something special on their hands. And you can kind of see how he gets it done based off of kind of the setup and everything. So first at bat, he ends up drawing a walk here, but let's just watch it. It's a really high hands in the stance. A little bit of a leg kick. A little bit of a hang, but the hands are already back, and a little bit of a drift into landing. So that's the swing setup. Yeah, for me, he's the front runner for Rookie of the Year right now based on what he's doing. I think he's leapfrogged everyone else.
Arguably, maybe the best hitter in the league.
1-0 changeup, kick change from Jack. These days, very good pitch off of the vert fastball he has. This changeup's been effective for him. But again, 1-0 changeup to Kurtz. They're not messing around.
Of the night tonight.
4-seamer.
A little bit in here too.
Pretty easy take. So when they're definitely afraid to throw him fastballs when behind the count. So already the respect was there in the game planning for Kurtz. Anyway, he draws a walk first at bat, second at bat.
Throwing close to 100 miles an hour helps you out.
He's going to go in with the fastball, but miss away. Good swing. So you can see Kurtz has kind of got that slightly open move with the lower half, but he's squared up to the ball so that even when he catches it deep, he could drive it the other way. So that's a good swing, but a little bit of indicative of one of the qualities of Kurtz as a hitter is his opposite field and ability to square the ball up to the opposite field. Heater in, good take. This ball tracked as a strike a really long way, and this is a hitter who's locked in. This is a good yes, no take. No. All right, gets himself to 1-1. He's going to come back with that changeup. Kurtz pulls the hands in, gets what should be a single. Bad defensive play, but also good hustle here. And gets himself into scoring position with a little bloop double, but pulls the hands in nicely. This wasn't a a well-located pitch by Jack.
See the velocities by pitch.
But Kurtz does a good job kind of pulling the hands in.
Again, lifted.
And that sends us to our third at-bat. So far, it's been a mix of fastballs and changeups that Leiters wanted to go to. Taken all the way on the first pitch fastball. And he's going to try to go to the curveball.
One of those modes right now where he's pretty much impossible to fool.
And he just backspins it to the opposite field in an absolute graveyard for the homer. 104.8 at 33 to the oppo.
And honestly, there's no
Kurtz
shame in that if you're Jack
stays on his absolute tear that he's on right now.
Everybody lately on pitch.
And if you look at the swing here, he hadn't seen a breaking ball yet in this game. This is a backdoor breaking ball on an 0-1 count.
Modes right now where he's pretty much impossible
And
to fool.
I think something about the way that he's able to just softly place that front foot down, even though he pops the hip out, the hands, he has such good coverage, such good extension. And he catches that ball just at the right angle deep that he's able to backspin it to left. And there's just not many people who can do that. And that's what reminded me of a crazy comp, but Jim Tomei. Honestly, Jim Tomei's ability to kind of sit on that back leg, square a ball up to left center. That's what kind of allowed him to have the power to hit 600 dingers in his career. So here's it from the side. He rides it out, like, so he's already landed, but the pitch is slower than his initial timing, but he's able to ride it out, catch it deep, and kind of snap that hip in there, right at contact, and has a carry out to left. Let's watch that again. He's been awesome. I like the way he has his hands too. Like when you hold your hands up high like this, kind of preloaded, there's not a ton of movement here. Like they're already pre-stretched. A lot of times a guy has to take his hands and kind of move them back as he drifts forward. That kind of happens naturally with him because he just starts with his hands back. So I do think that helps him be a little more ready to hit, and also it kind of allows his bat path to play with seeing the ball a little deeper in the zone. And anytime you can buy yourself a couple inches in terms of seeing the ball deep and still putting it in play with authority, I think it helps you as a hitter in the big leagues when guys just throw so hard. The reality is most people, if they hit the same contact, this is going to be a lazy fly out to the opposite field. So most people can't hit like this. But this is why talent matters and like pop matters. And he's going to be top of the scale. Anyway, let's watch this lefty at bat. I think he gets out here, but I'm curious how he hangs in. Little take away. This is going to be the toughest matchups, you know, the sweeper and the sidearm stuff. And they're going to go sinker in. You know what? Hit it hard. Almost got a third hit. And I think this is also another nice quality in his swing. And a lot of people wouldn't teach this, but he has a little bail in his swing, right? Like, these feet are not exactly straight. Like, his energy's going this direction. But that allows him to clear out and get to balls on the inside part of the plate. But then he also has long enough arms to handle the outside part of the plate. Like, most people, they go this direction with their body, and this whole part of this outside part of the plate is gone for them. Like, they literally can't cover it, but he still can. So the ability to be able to bail a little bit and clear out his hips to potentially hit some stuff that's in on him, but also still be able to cover away, that's a unique ability. So that's something we got to keep our eye on when we're watching this kid as he keeps going. I wonder what the adjustment's going to be from the league. They're already kind of giving up on fastballs. Because if it was all about fastballs, they would have just pounded him fastballs at the top this whole game. But clearly he's already shown a propensity to hit that. Because even guys with good fastballs like Jack Leiter are going 1-0 changeup, 2-1 changeup, 0-1 backdoor curveball. So, I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to watch how this all sort of plays out for him. But very impressive kid. And the A's have somebody special there. They really have put up some good numbers. I know a lot of it's their field, but they have put up some good numbers. Now, let me go to the notes real quick. All right, those are the first two. We got to watch the walk-off catcher's interference, which is just a travesty to me. I know this was a shit show inning, and the Red Sox probably deserve to lose the way that they pitched this inning, but still. I would love to know people's opinion on this. This play really annoyed me. All right, so Hicks comes in. It's the bottom of the 10th. Ghost runner's on second. He immediately walks the guy trying to bunt. Then they intentionally walk Max Kepler after he chucks the ball to the backstop. So now it's bases loaded, no outs. And Edmundo Sosa comes up. And we can play the whole at bat before we get to the catcher's interference. But backdoor Hundy on the black, paint. Dirty. Here comes the slider. This is the new slider that the Red Sox have given him. It's more of a gyro pitch. Interesting to see how they tinker with Hicks. Anyway, here comes a 101-mile-an-hour sinker. Almost dots him. Really good attempt. And then a 101.3-mile-an-hour sinker. Fouls it off, but you can see now how deep Sosa's letting this ball get. He hits this ball almost out of the mitt right here. Let me see his swing, how deep it is. I mean, he almost catcher's interferences right there. And the reason why he's taking this swing is because this pitcher's throwing so freaking hard. Anyway, we get to the 3-2. First, I'm going to show it from this view because
the outfield is shallow. That pitch just a bit outside.
It's a ball off the plate. He wasn't even trying to swing, but he was pretty much out because he had to chase a little bit. And he's in such a protect mode, such a see the ball deep mode here, that he ends up getting rewarded for something that you should never be rewarded for. Like, you can say, oh, catcher should have been further back, but this swing is insane. And you can't end a game like this, in my opinion. All right, look at it in quarter speed. Here it comes. I mean, the bat literally, this is just such a feeble attempt at baseball, and yet this ends the game because you basically reached back and whacked the glove. I know it's part of the game. I've been victimized by this many times. A lot of guys have. I know it's part of the game, but I really don't like it. This is the second one I've seen this year where it's like basically the hitter's beat and he's able to somehow accidentally make contact with the glove, and it really benefits his team. It's not even a swing. Like, it's a take. He's trying to take. Just call it a ball and keep the at-bat going. I think it's a little unfair to Hicks, although he kind of had one of the... If you're going to have a nightmare outing, it's a best-case scenario where, you know, the game ends and you don't even give up an earned run. And it's on something crazy like this. You can flush this game pretty quick, even though it was definitely frustrating for the Red Sox. I think for Hicks, though, he can kind of dodged a bullet. This could have been, like, really ugly performance from him. But anyway, I hated this, so I wanted to cover that real quick. What else? What else we got today? We got Acuna scoring on a single from first. So let's watch that. Braves and the Gigantes. I think it was Birdsong. Yeah, here it is.
Good strike. Easy in case he gets in more trouble. He's firing down there pretty quickly. Baldwin, right center. That's gonna.
It's probably Bivens. Yeah. Here it is. Drake Baldwin singles on a ground ball. Ronald Acuna scores from first. So first we'll watch it from the broadcast cam, because this is just absurd speed. And they do a good job. I mean, the throw doesn't really go exactly where it should go, but there's no game planning for this type of like just speed and hustle. And Acuna never gets credit for hustle, but look at this. That's him. Never breaks stride. Assumed it was possible from the beginning, and that's the only way you're going to make the play. It's by assuming that you could actually make it. Most people would never think they could even make it. But watch Ronnie here. 2 outs, so he gets the luxury of moving on contact and kind of knowing his field. But at the same time, really good send by the third base coach too. Just pointing home, like, just go. But just like a willingness to push it. A willingness to push it. I know that he gets in trouble sometimes for dogging it here and there, but let's give him credit where credit's due. There's no players that can do this. Bobby Witt, Corbin Carroll, maybe, but you have to have a thirst for it. And it's one of the things that's tough against Ronald Acuna is just his aggression and his thirst for winning and his thirst for getting extra bases and hitting home runs. And I don't know, it's just his aggression is it's just ferocious at times. And I think that's what makes him one of the very best players in the game. But there he is, just flying around the bases. I don't even know if he's in the top 5 anymore in sprint speed, but I don't think he is. But still, you can see what happens. That's 2 torn ACLs, by the way. It's playing with no fear. It's playing with your hair on fire, as they would say. So I wanted to give credit for that. Oh, and then since we're in this game, we might as well check in on Rafael Devers. He's been struggling, but I saw he got a couple hits last night, so I'd like to see what we can learn from those 2 at-bats. Bryce Elder and Rafi Devers.
But obviously, you put Devers in any.
Carlos
Correa and others. And so they had a chance to trade for one.
Change up, hammered foul.
I'll maybe be talking to him about it first. Of course, Bregman has taken over his position at third base.
4-seam up. A lot of guys like the 4-seam up to Rafi. He's a very good off-speed hitter, especially in zone. If you get ahead of him, he does have a propensity to chase a lot. But he's also so dangerous. Like, you make a 2-strike mistake and you're going to lose the ball. So they're trying to go off-speed here.
First base for the Giants.
Change up down, hard grounder through the 4-hole. Then he's going to get a walk. Let's just watch the 3-2. See if this is a good take on 3-2 or what. Pretty easy take. So he's on his first 2 at-bats. To be fair, this is a really good matchup for him versus Elder. Elder doesn't really have the arsenal that's going to line up perfectly with the Rafi Devers. Change up down. They're going a lot off speed here.
That's impressive. I mean, you think about the guys
Sinker.
that have come through
You
this
better get it on the black, sir.
and
he does.
Over the
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's an extra.
Elder has a nice put-away slider at times.
And he's going to get a couple of more. 90th pitch for Elder, fouled away by Devers.
You see, once he's behind the count, he's swinging. Where's this have to be for the take? Good take, good take. That's a good sign. Seeing the ball a little better than he was a week ago. Change up, non-competitive.
What's the change up?
Change up again. I like the swing though. I like the energy. Stayed inside it.
Such a good hitter. He's 2 for 2 tonight, and he's
little low liner. Second hit of the night. They got to get him going. They got to get him going. He needs to get going for his own sake.
Change up.
But the Giants are going to be in big trouble if they can't get the offense they're promised when Rafi came over.
Such a good.
All right, so he gets out his other 2 at-bats. I do believe he hits this ball pretty hard off Bummer. Not really.
Buries it
in the ground. All right. So I wanted to check in on Rafi just for a sec, just to see. I saw he got 2 hits last night. All right, and then I want to check in on one of my dudes, Edwin Diaz, the trumpet man, as he pitched a dominant inning last night versus who'd they play? The Metropolitanos. Who'd they play last night? Oh yeah, they played the Angels. Yeah, and Sugar had a side punch, so let's watch it. He's been electric lately. 38 1/3, 1/6 so far this season. Sometimes he's vulnerable on the first batter if he's not as aggressive, but if he locks in on that first batter, it's going to be a quick inning. Falls behind 2-0. Good target by Alvarez. Good to see him back up. He always misses to his arm side, so if he's missing, you got to cheat in a little bit with the target. That's what Alvy's doing there. That's keeping Sugar in the zone. So 4 heaters, and here comes the slider. Sugar's slider's so weird. To me, it almost acts like a changeup. Has a mind of its own. He throws it with really good intent, like a fastball. This one kind of upshoot spins to the oppo corner. And I think Shanuel swings under this pitch. He does. But foul tip, caught by Alvy. 1 dead, and now I bet he's going to get locked in for the second batter, and it's Trout. Squeezed on the first pitch. Needs a strike here. Heater. And you can see how low Edwin's release is. And that allows the ball to look like it's upshooting. Another guy with not a crazy amount of vertical break on his 4-seam, but The way he throws it makes all the difference. Another heater to Trout. When you're facing Mike Trout, you know that you got to throw the ball in this upper quadrant, particularly on the inside part. That is where the swing just does not cover. He clobbers everything else. And you know that going in. So those two swing throughs are pretty damn good. And then he upshoots him again, 98-7 this time. So Trouty swings under all three of them. Edwin throwing harder as the at-bat goes on. And so he punches the first two. And now Taylor Ward. Now his best season, 2022, Edwin, the big adjustment he made that year, nice slider there, was throwing the slider as his primary pitch. He was like 58 or 57% slider in 2022. Every other season, the fastball's been the primary pitch. It's always been pretty close to 50-50, but he's throwing the fastball more. And I think when he's a slider monster, I think that's the best version of Edwin. Because then the fastball just plays like it's 150. All right, so there's one strike away. And then there's that factor with Sugar sometimes is he'll just fly one. It's crazy because he doesn't have like a crazy high walk rate. He's got pretty good walk numbers in his career, but he's definitely prone to throwing a ball over somebody's head every now and then. And then he uses that to his advantage and goes an unfair pitch here for the slider, strike three. Taylor Ward had no intention of swinging. He knows. Taylor Ward, look at his body language here. This is a two-strike statue. I care more about my life than this at bat. So there's three punches for Edwin. He's been electric. He's been unreal. And he is really irreplaceable for the Mets. They have nobody to replace him, and I don't think they will have anybody to replace him, so they need to keep him healthy. He's a big key. Getting Raley back was a big deal for the Mets. Brazabon got worked a lot. A lot of guys got worked a lot in the first half. Reed Garrett. They're looking for the right mix. I expect them to add big time at the deadline. But, yeah, Edwin Diaz is the irreplaceable guy in that Met bullpen. All right, and then one more thing I want to look at before we wrap it up today, and it's a little bit of the Brewers and the Cubs. So, again, if we look at the standings, the Brewers have now won 11 in a row. And they have a one-game lead on the Cubs. They have a plus 91 run differential. Cubs are at plus 115. And I want to look at a little bit of the contrast of how these two teams are getting it done this year. I find it fascinating, the contrast between these two teams. So this is expected weighted on base average by team. This is the hitting numbers. So best teams are the Dodgers, Yankees, and then the Cubs. So Cubs are third best hitting team by the Baseball Savant metric here. And the Brewers are way down here in 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24th place. So they're a bottom 7 offense, and they have a better record than a top 3 offense. But they do it with their pitching. Because if you look at the pitching, you want to be on the lower side of things. And the Brewers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th in pitching. Whereas the Cubs are 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So slightly below average in pitching. So one team's doing it with pitching. One team's doing it with offense. There's a lot of scary stats about the Brewers' offense. Like if we go to hard hit percentage, they are 4th worst. If we go to barrels, they are last in barrels. And most teams build their team around barrels now, offensively. And they are last in barrels, and they're in first place. What else? Expected slugging, 2nd to last. So it's a contact approach, and it's seeming to pay off for them. I think from a pitching perspective, they're doing a really good job, and they continue to do a really good job, as they do every year, by somehow outpitching their talent level. But if you look at these guys, every single guy who's qualifying for them has been above average in ex-WOBA from the pitching side. Uribe, Koenig, McGill, Grant Anderson, Freddie Peralta, Nick Mears, Quinn Priester, who we looked at the other day, has been huge for them. Chad Patrick, Jose Quintana, and then Big Woo, who's now, in his first 3 starts, been lethal for the Brewers. Last night, he shoved against the Mariners. He's got a 1.65. He's 2-0 and a 1.65 through his first 3 starts. Did he walk anybody last night? No. So he still has no walks on the season. Yeah, 23 strikeouts, no walks, 0.55 whip. I mean, to come off surgery and be this sharp is insane. But I don't know. What do you think it's sustainable what the Brewers are doing versus what the Cubs are doing? I think one interesting wild card with all of this is just that the Cubs are definitely going to add at the deadline, and I'm not sure what the Brewers are going to do. Obviously, the Cubs are a bigger market. They can take on more salary. I think they're in position to take on. I'm not sure if the Brewers are, so that could swing that division a little bit of what happens at the deadline. But you got to take Milwaukee serious, as they do every year. They just won 11 in a row. They're doing it with pitching and with timely rally-style offense. We'll quickly watch the one rally that they had last night that won the game. It was against the Mariners. Milwaukee and Seattle. George Kirby was dominating in this game. He gets into the 6th. He gets a first batter out in Anthony Siegler, and then Joey Ortiz comes up, and this is how the rally kind of goes. This is a full contact team. Remember, least barrels in the league. That doesn't mean they can't get you though. All right, all they need is a little opening, and then they'll come right through. So Joey Ortiz single. Bryce Terang, one of the best defenders in the game, gets himself a hitter's count. Drives the ball to left center. Now you got second and third, one out. Now you got William Contreras. He's aggressive right here and gets the sac fly.
It is a thing.
This is near the line. Canzone. Ortiz is at third. Canzone makes the catch. Ortiz on the way. Here's the throw. It's up the line. Ortiz.
So they play a little small ball there with the sac fly. But then they're not done. You can't let up when you're facing this team. You got Yelich. Yelich, unbelievable at hitting this hole right here where he hits this ground ball. That's the Yelich ground ball spot. I never understand why we don't play the second baseman a little further up there. Christian's so good at staying inside the ball. He rarely rolls it over towards first base. In my time watching him hit. Then he got Chourio. So, Kirby here just needs like one more out to survive this outing. And this is what the Brewers do. You give them an inch, they take a mile. They end up putting together a really nice rally here. This gets them to 3-0. Yelich makes a nice trip around the bases. Isaac Collins adds onto it, and they end up getting a 4 spot in this inning after this hit right here. And 4 runs is more than enough for Woodruff and the Milwaukee bullpen, who has like 5 dominant relievers this year. So they've won an 11 in a row. This is how they do it. It's kind of a rally-style offense with a really good pitching staff. It reminds me a lot of the San Francisco Giants style of play, 2012, 2014, the years that they were winning the World Series, where they'd win every game 3-2, 4-2. You know, good defense, really good bullpen, and kind of like a rally-style offense. You give them an inch, and they take the mile. It's just a fascinating team to watch. Is it sustainable? Can they keep going? Only time will tell. But you got to love what they're doing. Got to love the way Pat Murphy has those guys playing. They really value defense over there. I think that's made a big difference. I wonder if there's a way to look at fielding run value by team. Yes, let's see here real quick. Let's see the Brewers. So the Brewers have above average fielders in Collins, Contreras behind the plate, Ortiz, Frelick. That's Terang as a neutral this year. Interesting. I think he's really good usually. But they don't really have too many negative guys. They're a good team. They're a good team all around. Very, very, very fundamental team. Contact offense. Can this win in today's game, in today's world? We will see, but I think Woodruff's making a big difference. When you've got Peralta, Woodruff, the way Priester's been throwing the ball, that's a good start right there. And we'll see if they do any adding. But I think that's going to be it for today. We did about 55 minutes. Got to go pick up my kid from camp here in a little bit. Had fun. We'll be back again tomorrow as we gear up for Friday. And as I start to roll out, bringing some guests on here and doing some other fun stuff. We're going to do some trivias, some sporkles. We're going to mess around a little bit. Looking at, things in a little bit of a deeper dive. I'll get some hitters on here, have them talk, show us their expertise a little bit. kind of make you see how I'm full of shit sometimes or not, but it'll be fun either way. And really looking forward to it. So stick right here with us on Baseball and Coffee. Really appreciate anybody who's checked in with me today. We're just going to be relentless with this. We're not going to stop. I'm not marketing the show. I'm not doing really anything right now. I'm just having fun watching baseball. It's been great to keep up with you guys. And we'll grow together. So have a great day. And see you tomorrow.